Okay, we're still reviewing Punch. You had a story.
Yes, I do. The fuel crisis being experienced by Nigerians is yet to abate, even as petrol vessels better than Lagos and other ports in the country. It's also been said that they are prioritizing their own stations and not making the fuel available to third parties. They're saying that the depots are not wet yet because even though vessels bettered, they are not being offloaded simultaneously. So because they are not doing that, it's not able to solve the pending problems. Meanwhile, the MPA had said that 16 ships are waiting to bet at the Lagos ports as of Tuesday, but then we've not heard any news if that has been done and if it's been offloaded as of today. According to the MPA, the vessels are set to bet petrol at 16 vessels are set to bet at ENL Consortium, AMPT, Apapa Bulk, and Greenview Development Nigeria Limited terminals in Lagos. And hopefully, this would stop what the black marketers are doing, because now they are selling as high as 1,300 naira per litre and 1,500 naira per litre, yes, in parts of Lagos and Ogun State. So they said that we should just take it easy, that hopefully before the end of the week. But with this protest that's about to happen and start tomorrow, I wonder how that would be. And I hope that NEPA will also give us light, that there will be light. Because if not, I wonder how people will run their generators.
Yeah.
So.
Daily Sun, moving on now. Tension rises 24 hours to protest. Catholic bishops blame government for looming protest. Imo boils as gunmen set vehicles and property ablaze. Senate reps to correct error in 2024 budget in today's emergency meeting. Government orders indefinite closure of FCET Akoka. Only 650 doctors attend to 3.6 million population in Kwara, says NME chairman. Abaigbena Amuka, others give media survival strategies. Okay, which story? Let me start with, okay, I don't have that story.
Okay, so let me take the information from the Nigerian Medical Association Kwara State branch. They yesterday disclosed that they have only 650 medical doctors to attend to the 3.6 million population within Kwara State. The chairman, Ola Ahmed, gave this during a news conference, which is ahead of the 2024 annual general meeting and scientific conference of the association. He said that he's rounding up his 2-year tenure as chairman, and in spite of all his many achievements that they have recorded within the sector, it is still a concern that they don't have enough manpower, that a lot of the colleagues have been lost to brain drain, the jackpot that has been happening, and the economic hardship, poor medical infrastructure are some of the reasons a lot of doctors are migrating. He's, however, he has commended the governor for the investment into the health sector, and is also talking about the fact that the government of Kwara State has approved an adjustment in the salaries of the members, but is still of concern that the ratio of doctors to residents within Kwara is very, very poor. So it's something that is worrisome, and I think that as the acknowledgement and appreciation of the governor for the money is just one part. The governor needs to go on a radical recruitment of doctors and provide enabling environments to ensure they stay within that state, because if you are sick in Kwara, this is not a good, especially if you're not in the cities.
Yes. What happens?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Khaemba, has issued a directive to ground the operation of Arik Air. They said that this comes after the High Court had ruled in Abuja and had mandated that the airline aircraft to settle a 2.5 million debt owed to Mr. Arthur Eze. Although they say this has not been released officially, but we have the Arik Air's management, responding to this new directive. They're saying that the decision to ground this aircraft fleet is in disregard of what the ongoing judicial process is, pointing out that there's an ongoing case in the Federal High Court where AMCOM was asserting its secured interest in Arik assets. It says that they expressed their sadness on the grounding of his fleet, describing it as an overreach of the ongoing judicial processes and directives of the court. They says that they believe that this action is undermining the rule of law, and it sets a dangerous precedent. That means they are prioritizing unsecured private interests over the public good and rights of secured creditors. They say that they've always worked for, the betterment of Nigeria. They've worked with the economy and the citizens to provide flights and everything. And so in a situation like that, they should have allowed the court, the rule of law, to, the court to the process in court to take place instead of
Just
preempting
grounding
them and grounding them. But that statement too is not an official statement that's been made, so we'll also wait here what the aviation minister will say officially.
So some lawmakers are not very happy with the Senate president yesterday and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, and because they have called an emergency meeting. They called the lawmakers back to rectify inconsistencies between the versions of the 2024 budget passed by the Senate and House respectively. So, and the lawmakers are not happy. They say, despite the critical nature of the session, we have plans. We've already traveled. We're supposed to travel. We have personal and professional plans, including travel to our constituencies and even international destinations. The recall has disrupted our plans, and there's a sentiment among some members that the session should have been postponed to when they resume in September. But the leader said, no, you got to come back. This is too important because it can actually alter some really, some of the implementation of the budget, delays, misinterpretations, impacting everything from infrastructure projects to social services. So remember, Son had initially said that many of them are running away.
That's what I was going to say.
Running away for the protest.
Yes. So they found a way to
God said, come back.
back.
You are staying here until you rectify this thing. So they're not happy at all, but hey.
Yes, okay. I
have
have, yes, yeah, I have. So, barely few hours after gunmen enforcing sit-at-home killed 4 policemen and a POS operator at Mechanic Village, Irete, in Imo State. Yes. Another shooting has happened again in Nkwoji, that's my mom's village, in Owerri, North Council area. So it was said, the witness said that the gunmen were all in black attires and they came and started shooting and setting ablaze of government vehicles, you know, and not personal vehicles. It's not been stated yet if lives were lost, but then they are still trying to also, as the NSDC, they are still trying to ascertain if this was as a result of enforcing the sit-at-home or if this has to do with some other thing, because they were bent on setting government vehicles and then a truck, you know, on fire. Yes, so the place is now a ghost town. Everybody has taken off.
Nigerian Tribune, FG declares prisons red zones. FG suspends import duties, taxes on essential food items. 80,000 applicants received for 110 billion naira youth investment fund for in 72 hours, says federal government. 2 policemen killed as kidnappers invade church, abduct former commissioner in Delta. Jakande Memorial Lecture, how media can survive current changing landscape. Court dismisses Otom's suit against Benue government. And nation's crude daily production of 1.6 million barrels to hit 2 million by December, says NNPCL. Okay.
So I have the story about the Tribune reporter, Vanguard reporter, and the driver that was carrying NUJ, that's the Nigerian Union of Journalists, palliative. So they got a message from the Cross River State Emergency Management Agency that's Reverend James Anam, that as beneficiaries of the present phase of distribution, they should come to take the food and distribute to journalists within Cross River State. So the drivers went to the office to pick up the food items, and as they were going, about 100 hoodlums descended on the bus with the palliatives, started stoning the bus, and injured the driver, a Tribune reporter, Vanguard reporter, who are getting treated. The driver said the only reason they were able to, he just had a few bruises and injury on his shoulder was because the boots of the bus popped up and Gary and rice fell down. So they stopped harming the people that were inside the bus and went to start looting the bus, the food items in the bus. Please. People are hungry. Like, they are sharing, they are calling group by group. So, of course, people might say, it will not get to us. But if you do this, you obviously will not get to anybody. How can a boss, and the boss was an NUJ boss, and we're harming ourselves because we want to get access to food? Are we going to this level, but you don't understand what is going on? It's not justification.
Yeah, we have the Lateef Jakande annual memorial lecture for this year, organized by the Nigerian Guild Editors. On Tuesday, they had media entrepreneurs, practitioners who were there, and they expressed their concern about the survival of media in the current ever-changing landscape. They said that the chairman for this day, Mr. Nduka Obaibana, was there. He called for a change in the law for media. I found interesting. He said there needs to be a change in the law for media to survive in the current landscape. He said such as intellectual property, it should be regarded as an asset. That is, media has to be paid for that. So he says people, when they use what they have generated, what media has generated, they should be paid for it. This would, help in their work. He says if we get payment for all of our work used by online users, journalism will be better for it as well. And then he also highlighted artificial intelligence, not to be seen as a threat, but, find ways that you can work with it, talking about how news is distributed online. Like before you get it in print, the next morning it's already been distributed online, and people have read it. So all these things should be an encouragement to find different ways of, running the media business and not be threatened by it. He also mentioned how print media, and magazines are quite suffering because of this new technology.
Okay, final paper, Vanguard, find a story we've not taken at all. FG hands over 400 CNG kits to transporters in 4 states. TET Fund laments Varsity's monthly 400 million naira electricity bill and learn from Kenya's bitter experience, Bishop warns. Okay,
so I have the federal government yesterday handed over 400 compressed natural gas CNG conversion kits to private sector transporters in 4 states as part of the efforts to lower the cost of transportation. At the cost of 1.2 million per kit and conversion cost of about 300,000, the government will be paying about 600 million for the 400 kits for the private transportation operators. This is to ensure that there's a reduction in the transportation fare. Because over time now we've witnessed the high cost of transportation and how it has affected people. So the government is trying to come in to bridge that. And Mr. Oluwabemi pointed out that converting vehicles to CNG would reduce cost of fueling by over 70%.
But the conversion cost is still high.
It's still high. And that's the thing, that is it possible that we cannot get this cheaper in any way?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yes, so they are trying to do something good, but then it's still coming at a really high cost.
Yeah, it's a one-off cost.
A one-off.
So that's what they told us. A one-off high cost.
High cost, Let's see how
that's
that goes.
all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back with our next segment, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.